right, welcome back to the Project Gen X podcast. I am one of your hosts, Alan Smith, along with...
About to say, did I get demoted? Am I no longer a host? I'm one of the originals. I am the other guy, Big Dave.
Yeah, I haven't told you yet, but this has now become a Diana Ross and the Supremes type thing.
Screw you. I'm out of here. Bye. See ya. I'm gone.
We're no longer the Jackson 5. We are Michael Jackson and the Jacksons.
Keep talking, little boy. It's been an interesting 2 months. This whole year has been
It really has, and it's kind of, us coming back in January, I was ready for it. And I mean, I was like, no, I'm ready to get back into this.
Life was not ready for us to
Life was nowhere near ready for
4 episodes
any of the three of us for this to happen.
And honestly, part of the reason we're doing this today is because my work, I ran out of hours that I could work, and my boss looked at me and said, go home.
Yeah, there you go. So this was kind of a spur of the moment. Hey, we're going to do this. And it's just kind of one of those things that it's just life.
All right. Well, I'm going to bring us over into what we're actually talking about today.
Yeah, anyway.
We're looking at the...
We can't jump right into a topic. We have to have at least 5 or 6 minutes of some tangent to get us into it.
It's called the warm-up. It's the warm-up, yeah.
It's called I haven't had a microphone in front of me in a while. I got stuff to say, damn it. Anyway. Anyway, yeah, this is a Dave topic, so...
Actually, it's a wife topic.
Okay.
My wife...
Which means it's a Dave topic, because we all know who runs that household. So.
I'm not going to argue with you for fear of getting beat when I
Exactly.
I was actually on the phone with Alan and my wife was talking about one of the actors in this movie is going to be doing a residency at the city winery.
What is he doing exactly?
I have no idea. It's her thing.
Okay, but that's just, I was like, it's C. Thomas Howell is going to be here at the City Winery here in Nashville, which City Winery is.
I think for
like chain,
Yeah, it is a chain. I think he's here for like 2 months or something.
Doing what though?
I have no idea. I really
it could be any number of things. I know you said something about that they were having like theme nights or something. Like one of them's Cobra Kai.
Well, the one that my wife and her friend are going to, the theme night of that is Cobra Kai, and evidently they're having cast members from Cobra Kai
that's cool.
show up and like talk or whatever.
There you go.
They're hoping Ralph Macchio shows up, but they don't know if he will or not.
Hey, it would be even cooler if Zabka was there. William Zabka shows up for that. That would be really cool.
I would be more interested in meeting him.
I would too.
Than Ralph.
Come on, we all know he's the real Karate Kid.
Oh, I am not having this argument with you.
It's true.
Are you taking the Barney side of this argument?
Barney Stinson was right, okay? I'm just going to get a T-shirt made that says Barney Stinson was right. And that's anytime somebody says anything, I'm just going to point to the shirt. That's...
I want somebody to write a book of the rules, the bro code.
Dude.
I want a copy of the bro code.
Well, you know what's so funny? Of course, we're on another tangent here.
Of course, I did this.
I loved that show when it was on the air, and I have not really gone back and watched any of it. Like, I catch parts of episodes here and there, because they've been in syndication. I don't really watch a whole lot of TV anymore. But what's funny is that, you know how Instagram works. You click on one thing and then you're like inundated. Well, I'm talking about like you click and you watch one reel on there, and then every time you go and open it back up again, there's more stuff that's that.
Yeah, because now you've been caught by the algorithm.
Right. So like I watched a couple of How I Met Your Mother like reels on there like months ago. And every time I open Instagram, all of the suggested few, it's always it's just like a barrage of How I Met Your Mother clips. So that's over the last few months, I've kind of been like, okay, what's this one? Oh, okay, I remember that. That's, type stuff without having to go back and watch 9 seasons and getting pissed off all over again.
Yeah.
And it's been funny. It's been really funny to watch some of that stuff. And one of the recent ones was the Barney's bachelor party where Ralph Macchio and William Zabka shows up, everything, and he's doing a whole like, no, he's not the real Karate Kid. He's not, type stuff. So
yeah, you're talking about Instagram. I made a vital mistake with my Instagram the other day.
What did you click on?
Well, I was looking. I was trying to find videos of how to vinyl wrap something.
Okay. Now it's vinyl wrap.
Not exactly. because I found what I was looking for and kind of figured out how to vinyl wrap a tool that I was looking at. So
you found what you're looking for. You're one ahead of you too now. So
yeah, exactly. The problem is when you type in the word vinyl, all kinds of other things pop up.
Oh yeah.
And now that's all my search is women in vinyl clothing, and I'm like, no, this is not what I asked for. I was like, I did not ask for a vinyl.
I was going vinyl records, but you went there, huh?
No, it went there.
Well,
I did not ask for a vinyl fetish clothing.
I don't know what I watched on there a little while back. All of the targeted ads that I get on there are for like handgun safes and like holsters. And
you didn't.
That's all it is. It just. And I'm like, I don't remember doing anything here that this is the reason why I'm getting all this. Maybe it's some of the people I follow. I don't know. But it's just like, what in the hell?
You didn't click on anything. You talked about something with your phone.
I don't know.
Okay, so anyway, here's what we're talking about today. We're talking about.
I'm not even a gun nut.
No, that's our other friend.
Yeah, but I'm just like,
that's our other friend. So today's episode, we're talking about the 1983 Francis Ford Coppola movie, The Outsiders, which has the most...
It has one of the most Gen X casts ever. Do we want to go ahead and start listening? I can do it off the top of my head.
Hold on, let me pull up the whole...
Because we got C. Thomas Howell.
Hold on.
We got Ralph Macchio.
Let me pull up the whole cast. Yep.
We've got... Patrick Swayze.
You forgot Matt Dillon.
Well, we got Matt Dillon. We've got Tom Cruise. We've got Rob Lowe.
Yep.
We've got Emilio Estevez.
Yep.
We have Leif Garrett.
Yep.
Diane Lane.
Yep.
We have a cameo by Tom Waits.
Yes, you do.
We also have a cameo from Sofia Coppola.
Yes, you do.
And I feel like I'm leaving somebody out of this.
Hold on. Melanie Griffith was in this.
Really?
Uncredited.
Okay, I didn't.
Heather Langenkamp was in it.
That was, I do remember seeing that.
Uncredited. Darren Dalton was in this. You're forgetting about Darren Dalton.
Darren Dalton,
from the Ernest movies. He was the big fat chef.
Yeah. Yeah.
You also know him from Hee Haw.
He was on Hee Haw. Yeah. That's right.
But I mean, also S.E. Hinton herself is in the movie.
Who wrote the book? Right.
Who wrote the book?
And I saw her name in there.
Do you know what character she played?
Was she the woman at the fire?
No.
Okay.
She was the nurse that was taking care of Dally.
Oh, okay. That you see her like in the reflection.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. You actually see her face at the side of the bed, and she's the one who goes, "Where are your pants?"
Oh, that one. Okay, I was thinking of the other. Okay, you're thinking. Okay.
Yeah,
that's her. Okay,
that is
all right,
S.E. Hinton.
All right.
This is a movie that got made because
there's a nice little at the end of it where it says thanks to, and it gives the librarian's name and some students in California.
Joe Ellen Misakian was the library at the Lone Star Elementary School in Fresno, California. And her 7th and 8th grade students had been reading The Outsiders, and they loved the movie so much that they started a petition to get Francis Ford Coppola to do the movie.
Fair enough.
And since the students had shown so much interest in doing this, that she went ahead and wrote a letter to Francis Ford Coppola and sent the petition with the letter. Right. And that's what got Francis Ford Coppola interested in. He'd never even read the book or heard of it until that happened.
Nice. Okay, you went the extra mile on this one and read the book.
I ended up reading the book, yeah.
Okay, I remember when I was in high school that not my English class, but one of the other ones.
Yeah.
That was assigned reading. It was one of the books they had to read because it's a novel. You said, was it 180 pages?
It's 180 pages. It's not that long.
Yeah, I remember seeing.
I knocked it off in about, I guess it's like 4 or 5 hours.
Let's put it this way.
But I'm a fast reader.
As you say, it would have taken me 3 days to read that, but I would have gone and tried to find an audiobook of it before I did anything. I'll admit, I have real problem concentrating when I read. And so listening to audiobooks is so much better for me.
When I read, the rest of the world goes away.
Yeah.
Like, I read the last Harry Potter book in right at 24 hours.
Fucking millennial.
Which is, I think it was like 1,200 pages or something. So
fucking millennial, I swear.
That's a good book.
Whatever.
But
if you're a millennial and don't know what literature is.
I love to read. I don't read as much as I want to, because if I pick up a book, I'm gone until the book is over.
You know, I have I think we've talked about this before. I have a very hard rule when it comes to reading. Mm-hmm. If you don't grab me in the first 30 pages, I'm done. I am never all in on a book. Like I have stopped books midway through and been like, no, fuck this book, and never gone back to them before. So it's kind of, you know, one of them that's probably going to make some people mad when I say this. I have tried on 3 different occasions to read Slaughterhouse-5.
That's a hard read,
and
though.
I cannot get past the first 30 pages of it.
That's
every time I'm just like, nope, forget this. Nope, I'm done.
That's not an easy read.
No. Well, hold on.
And
this is somebody who read Lolita. Okay, that's not an easy read whatsoever.
Yeah,
I mean, just the way with all the French and just, subject matter and all that kind of stuff. It is not an easy read, but I made it through that book and wound up loving the way it was written. Okay, let's just put it that way. I didn't necessarily like the content, but it was like
the content. No, it's a good. The content
it
was
is
not great.
Written amazingly.
Okay,
the content is sketchy as all hell. I don't care how you try to spin it. So it's anyway.
Gotcha. But we're talking about the movie, The Outsiders, and I read the book because there's some differences between the movie and the book that we'll get to.
Okay.
So, but
let me ask this.
Yeah.
Did the book make this interesting?
The book is way more interesting than the actual movie.
Okay.
Okay, I guess we're getting right into it.
No, tell me about the book. Tell me about the book, because I'm actually pretty interested.
Well,
like I said, I never read it, and I had been told that there were differences between that were fairly significant.
Let's go into the background a little. If you haven't seen the movie, there are going to be spoilers coming up. So
for a 40-year-old movie, but this year, 40 years this year,
40? I didn't
came
realize.
out in '83. Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
Yep. But you know, if you haven't seen it yet, turn it off. Go watch a movie. It's something you should see,
or listen to me talk about it and save your time.
Actually, I do enjoy.
Dave is like so just.
No, I'm not. I knew it was going to be like this because it's Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah, well,
you hate The Godfather, so. But I really like.
We'll get into it in a minute. So.
The movie. I'll admit, this movie could have been done better. I still
that like is it. An understatement. Okay?
I still like it. I still like Rumblefish. Rumblefish is
you keep talking about that.
Yeah, it's based in the same time. Well, let's get into it. This is based in '65. It's based in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Right.
As is Rumblefish.
Some really bad Southern accents in this, and I'm like, they're not even in the South.
No, they're not in the South. It's very much middle of the country.
Yeah,
but basically, it's a cowboy town still in '65. But you've got the socials, which they call the socias, and you've got the wrong side.
Greasers.
You've got the wrong side of the track, which is the greasers, which is stereotypical grease in the hair, leather jacket, that type of thing.
Motorcycles, all the
And it's about a group of guys that all live in the same neighborhood, but it's centered on 3 brothers whose parents have been killed. Mm-hmm. And kind of what happens in the period of a week. This all happens in about a week.
That's about right. That's about right. Give or take a few days. I would say it's probably a little over a week just because of a line that's dropped, but we'll get to it. So it's
So you've got C. Thomas Howell, who plays basically one of 2 main characters. Yeah. There's 2 main characters, and it's C. Thomas Howell as Ponyboy,
right?
Which is his actual real name. It's not those are not nicknames. Those parents, their parents actually named him.
Because I know in the movie when he's talking to Diane Lane, he's talking about his brother Soda Pop. And he says, no, that's actually on his birth certificate.
And actually, if you read the book, it's not Soda Pop on his birth certificate. It's actually just Soda. He's got a middle name. I can't remember what it was. But you've also got Ralph Macchio playing Johnny Cade, who is the other main character. Right. Ponyboy is the one with the 2 brothers.
Yes.
And basically, the socias, it starts out with Ponyboy and Johnny and Dallas, who they call Dally, basically getting together for an afternoon. They're kind of hanging out until they're going to go to the drive-in theater and sneak in. While they're in the drive-in theater, that's where they run into Cherry and her friend.
Yeah, I can't remember what her friend's
Marcia.
name.
Marcia. And the way they end up talking to him is because Dallas is being a complete jerk to these girls.
So this is the same in the book, is it?
Same, okay. Same in the book. And it's all. That's one thing about it is that Francis Ford Coppola got with S.E. Hinton and wrote the screenplay together. She was actually on set the entire time. He was consulting with her the entire time. There are big swaths of the book that were left out of the movie that should have been in the movie that would have made it more interesting.
Okay.
So it's actually, even the dialogue is almost word for word.
Okay. That explains. Okay.
The dialogue's almost word for word from the movie to the book, including the argument between Dally and all of that.
Okay.
But come to find out, Cherry and Marcia were sitting in the seats at the drive-in, not in a car, because their boyfriends had decided to get drunk at the drive-thru and they weren't having it. And so they didn't have a way to get home. So, they run into 2-Bit.
Right.
Because Dally gets hacked off and leaves.
Right.
So Ponyboy, Johnny, and 2-Bit decide to walk the girls home. And when they do this, the 2 drunk boyfriends show up.
Right.
Going, hey, what are you doing with our girls? Blah, blah. And they start, get ready to fight. And Cherry's like, no, don't fight. I don't like fights.
Right.
Gets in the car and leaves with them.
This is all pretty in line with the movie so far. So.
Well, this is all with
right.
This is book and movie.
Right.
Well, I'm just talking about general plot for both. So then 2-Bit goes somewhere, and Johnny and Ponyboy both go home. And when Ponyboy gets home, he immediately... No, they decide to go up to the empty lot.
Right.
And hang out and fall asleep. And don't tell his brothers where they were at. And he's supposed to be home by a certain time. Of course, didn't get home by a certain time. So when he gets home, he gets yelled at by Derry. And Derry ends up slapping him, which he's never done ever. He just lost his temper because he was tired. And Ponyboy and Johnny decide to run away. Well, they decide to go up to the park in the middle of the town and cool off, and maybe they'll go home, maybe they won't. And that's when this Mustang full of the 2 Socias had gone and picked up friends.
Right.
And man, my allergies are killing me. I'm having a hard time breathing today.
Yeah, it's for those of you who are not around here. It's a nice rainy day in May here in Tennessee, which means that all the pollen is like coming down on everything. It's terrible. So,
but the Socias show up and they start picking on Ponyboy and Johnny, and it gets to the point to where they're starting to drown Ponyboy in the fountain at the park.
Right. And
Johnny pulls his switchblade and kills Leif Erikson's character, Rob.
Rob, yeah.
And of course, it's
self-defense.
It's self-defense.
I mean,
but who's going to take the word of a greaser?
Right.
So they run to Buck Merrill's house to get Dally, because Dally will know how to get him out of town. Right. Well, Buck Merrill is played by Tom Waits.
Right.
And Dally gives him $50 and gives him a gun and tells
him to go to the old abandoned church and
hop this train to this town, go to the old abandoned church, first day while you're there, go get a week's worth of food, and then hole up in the back of the church where nobody can see you and wait it out until I can come get you. So there's a lot of sitting around and playing cards and reading Gone with the Wind. And
which, talk about a slog of a book.
You're not wrong. I've never read it myself. I've never had any want to.
500 pages or something like that. Yeah. I've never read Gone with the Wind. I've seen the movie many times, and I love the movie. But here's the thing. The movie, for being 4 hours long, leaves out probably, I don't know, half
big
the
chunk
book.
of it. Yeah. I grew up in a house with my mom and two sisters, so I've seen it I don't know how many times. But after a few days, Dally comes to get him. It's cooled off. He got hauled into the police station because the police know him, and he's told them they've run off to Texas.
Right.
So they're looking at Texas. Dally comes to pick him up. They go back into town.
Which, here he drops a line about he thought that what was he said something about I thought being in New York or in New York City would be the reason why I wound up in jail.
No, he was like
that.
And I thought it was hard catching a murder rap in,
that's what
New York.
So which means he's not from there, which obviously because he's got a much different accent than everybody else.
Well, they go over that in the book.
Oh, see, it's just a line that's dropped, there of like, oh, okay, so he's not from here, so.
Yeah, he actually spent time in New York on the hard side.
Oh, I know, because he again a little later drops about, I don't want you guys going to jail. I've been there. I know what
it makes you hard.
So.
And at the Dairy Queen, which is where we see Sophia Coppola show up and go, "Hey,
which is funny.
You got 15 cents.
You see who she was credited as Domino.
Domino, yeah.
I was just like, okay, so.
Well, probably Francis trying to protect his daughter or something.
Whatever. He should have protected his nephew. So.
Do not pick on Nick Cage.
Nick Coppola.
Leave Nick Cage out of this. That guy's having the time of his life.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, they get back.
Which reminds me, have you seen the meme?
Which
the video meme from that movie he did where he plays himself.
I've seen
the one about when you're really. And it's like when they're in the car, it's when they're in the car.
I've seen a crap ton of them.
It's the one where they're in the car
with
him and Pedro Pascal, and he's got this just like blank look on his face. And he looks over, and Pascal is like, like smiling real big.
Yeah.
And it's like, and for the coat for Coppola, for Nick Cage is what it says. It says, my girlfriend when I'm really into, in the background they're playing Roots by Sepultura. It says, my girlfriend when I'm really into metal, and it says me, and it's like, of course it's him, like the big stupid smile on his face.
Yeah, I've seen several of those.
Did you see that movie?
No,
you haven't. You haven't seen it yet.
To see that movie.
I went to the theater and saw it.
I've got to figure out where it's streaming at.
To say it's good would be a lie, but to say that it's enjoyable is the truth. So
that is every Nick Cage movie ever.
Yeah,
they're not great, with the exception of Pig.
Okay, you say so.
That is a great movie.
We sure that one wasn't directed by Coppola? So.
No, because it was beautifully shot.
We're going to get into that.
It was beautifully shot.
Yeah, it was beautifully shot. It's just a weird ass movie, and like, yeah, okay, whatever. So, anyway, go ahead.
They get back. Oh no, they don't get back. After the Dairy Queen, they go back up to the old church,
and it's on fire.
I don't know why they went back up to the old church.
Yeah,
I guess to gather their belongings
Could
or whatever.
be.
And the church is on fire, like going completely up in blaze.
Right.
And somehow this school group has shown up out in the middle of nowhere, I guess for a school picnic or something. And the teacher, which is Randy, played by the cook from all the Ernest movies,
and Hee Haw. Don't forget Hee Haw. That's the important one.
Yeah, and Hee Haw. And he's like, oh no, all the children are right here. And another teacher comes running up. It's like, there's a bunch of children missing.
Right.
What do you mean? Well, I can't. And all of a sudden you hear kids start screaming in the church.
Inside the church.
And nobody's running to help.
Yeah.
Like none of the adults are running to help.
Right.
And Pony Boy and Johnny run over to the church and start kicking in windows and go into the burning building and they start rescuing kids and putting them out the windows and all that. And as they're getting the last of the kids out, Pony Boy is about to go back in, and Dally pulls him out of the building. Just as he does, a major timber in the roof of the church building breaks and hits Johnny right in the center of the back, both breaking his back and burning him severely.
Right.
And they have to. Dally actually does go back into the church
and
to
gets
get
him out. Right.
But something happened. Ponyboy falls over from smoke exhaustion.
He also was burned as well. Because remember, his jacket was on fire when Dally pulled it.
But it was a leather jacket, so it didn't really.
It still got through, believe me.
Yeah.
So.
The next thing you know, he wakes up in an ambulance and he's freaking out. Mm-hmm. They're headed into town. He's like, "Where's Johnny? They're in the ambulance behind us. Right. Don't worry, you're okay." Because he's now got the teacher, Randy, in the ambulance with him, riding to the hospital. And they have this thing. It's like, well, and Ponyboy's just like, well, I guess I'm caught. We're going to go to jail. And you start to find out how bad off Johnny is.
Yeah.
And, broke back, paralyzed, severely burned. Mm-hmm. And they're saying if he lives.
Right. Oh, one thing we didn't know when Dally called up to him, he said that he had talked to Cherry, and she said she was willing to tell the police that it was self-defense, what had happened earlier and everything. So
Johnny had decided they're going to
go back
and turn themselves in.
That's why they were going back to get their stuff. And it's and then this hour and a half slog of a movie gets even slower.
Well, because of everything that's happened.
And then it really slows down.
Because of everything that's happened, there's now going to be a rumble. The Socias are going to come to the Greaser side of town. They're going to have this big fight.
Right. On Saturday. They have rules, no weapons. It's just fists. And it's...
And they have the fight, and after the fight's over... Dally and Ponyboy are going to go up to the hospital and tell Johnny about it, and how they won the rumble. The Socias have to stay off of their side of town forever at this point. And when they get to the hospital, Johnny dies. Mm-hmm. He says a couple things to Dally. He says the key line that everybody gets wrong.
Gold, boy.
Everybody says, "Stay golden."
Stay gold.
It's stay gold.
Right.
Pony. It's not stay golden, Ponyboy. It's stay gold, Ponyboy.
Right.
And he dies. Mm-hmm. Which immediately sets Dally off. Mm-hmm. Dally pops, I don't know, a gasket or something, loses his mind, and runs out of the hospital. Ponyboy, not so much in the movie.
Right.
And finds his way back to his house where he tells all the rest of his crew
what happened.
And that Dally lost it and he's going to pop. And Dally pops. He goes and he robs a convenience store, and then calls with a not loaded gun.
Yeah.
He had a 1911 that he was using, but he didn't keep it loaded. He goes, it's a bluff.
Right.
It's enough to keep somebody off of you. Well, he
did get shot.
Well,
when he's running out
from a payphone.
Well, no, when he.
Oh, you're right.
When he ran out,
the grocer
clerk
shot him.
The clerk shot him, and because you see that when he makes the phone call, when he moves, there's blood.
Yeah.
So
and from a payphone, he calls Ponyboy's house and talks to Derry. It's like, hey, I robbed a grocery store. I took it all. And he can hear the police in the background. And Derry hangs up. It's like, we got to hide him. We got to go get him and hide him. And it's basically at the empty lot where they had the rumble that the police catch up with him, and the entire crew gets to watch him get gunned down because he's waving that empty 19.
Right.
He basically commits suicide by cop.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then they deal with the aftermath of that. And the movie ends basically the way it started, with a hand over paper going, "When I walked out of the movie theater, the dark movie theater, into the bright sun." Mm-hmm. Which is explained in the book, but not the movie.
No. That was the thing that killed me with this. Is like, it starts off with this little, where he's writing something. Right. And at the end of it, he's writing again. He also picks up the book, the Gone with the Wind, and there's a note from Johnny.
Right.
Which again goes back to the Stay Gold Ponyboy thing,
talking about the poem that they talked about when they were at the church.
About how it's about being a kid.
Hey, tell Dally this, because I don't think he knows. Right. Make him look at this.
At the sunset.
Yeah, because I don't think he knows.
Right.
And of course, it's too late.
Yeah. Mm.
Well, the book actually starts with Ponyboy being at the theater and walking out of it, and he gets beat up by a couple of Socias.
Okay.
The book actually starts with him getting beat up. He's the one that gets beat up. Johnny's already been beat up.
Okay, I was going to ask if that was the same
No.
that they referenced about, and that's how he knows that Leif Garrett's character is the one that beat him because of the rings on his hand.
Well, that's how the rings is how they know.
Yeah.
But at this point, at the beginning of the book, Johnny's already taken his beating.
Okay.
Which is why he's nervous from the very beginning.
Right.
That's already happened. So when he's not the greasers, it's bad enough between the Socs and the greasers that greasers are not supposed to be walking by themselves.
Okay.
Because they'll get jumped by the Socs, every time. So he notices a car starting to follow him, and he gets jumped by, I think it's 3 or 4 of them, and they're beaten. He's almost home by the time they catch up with him, and he's getting beat up pretty badly and is afraid he's about to get beat up like Johnny was. But he had been yelling for his crew, and his crew heard him and came and rescued him.
Okay. Right. It's close enough to home. So,
yeah. So that's where that starts. What's frustrating for me is that towards the end of the book, after the Rumble, all of that happens pretty much the way it happens. But when Ponyboy gets home, he's in complete denial that Johnny's died.
Okay.
Johnny's not dead. Johnny's not dead. Johnny's not dead. Well, in that Rumble, he had gotten kicked in the head and had a concussion.
Okay.
And after he told the rest of the crew what had happened, he passed out and ended up getting extremely sick from the concussion and spent 3 days in the hospital and had basically his memory scrambled because Johnny was still alive and he was the one that killed the Soc.
Okay.
And that's what he was telling everybody, even to the point to where they're getting ready to go to court because he was going to have to go to court. Not Randy. Yeah, Randy, the other Soc that was with Rob, was going to have to go to court. Randy was the one that he talked to got in the car and talked to at the Tasty Freeze.
A weird scene just in general of because they didn't really talk about anything. That was the whole the conversation. I can see, especially with everything that had happened, with
right.
With whatever the other one the one that got killed, and then
Rob,
and then Johnny being in the hospital.
Yeah.
I can see that conversation happening of this is fucked up, But for whatever reason in the script and the way that scene
in the book, it's better.
I was like, what was the point of this? I mean, this was other than the fact of it was kind of we're trying to show that they're not that far apart. No matter what social they're running, and that's something he says.
That's a running theme in the book is that
even
while
in the movie,
while there's differences between the two are actually not that far apart from where they're at.
Even the scene right at the Rumble, when the Socias walk up and Derry is talking to the one guy who's obviously older than
everybody. It was Frank or something.
And he's like, "Hey Derry, long time," and they're like, "Oh, they played football together."
Well, what they talk about in the book is that Derry was actually the captain of the football team when he played, and could have gone to college on a college scholarship, but because the parents died, he had to stay at home and work.
But it's just the way that's
part of why he was hard, because he.
Oh, I get that, but it was just a weird why are they? I mean, these guys obviously don't seem to have that much animosity towards each other. So why are they even here to fight? I mean, it
was about backing the crew.
I get that, but it was just a weird exchange between the two where it was okay, and then the two of them wound up fighting. I mean, it's like it's like everybody kind of pairs off for their fights and stuff. I got to say this about that scene.
Yeah.
Everybody in that scene needs to go watch some wrestling and learn how to throw a worked punch, because I'm telling you, dude, there are miles between fists and faces and everything. This doesn't even look convincing whatsoever.
But you got to remember, all of these actors are legitimately
I know, but it was just
young.
I know, but it was still kind of one of those, like, I was sitting there watching, like, dude, man, this is the joke everybody makes about wrestling of, like, oh, you almost hit me, you came within 3 feet of my face, and it's like, no.
Yeah. But in the book, Ponyboy has a major concussion.
Yeah.
His wiring gets crossed. He doesn't know, what really happened. They get to court, and all 3 Socias testify, okay, it was our fault, we did this, Cherry. And then they won't even, there's a doctor there that actually talks to the judge beforehand about the head injury that Ponyboy's, and he's not. And so the judge won't even let Ponyboy talk at the thing. He's like, self-defense, it's out.
It's done.
It's done. Which completely surprises Ponyboy. But then you see in the aftermath about his grades drop.
Right.
His attitude.
Yeah, they left all of this out. So
because of the head injury, his grades drop. His personality changes.
Right.
Like
it sounds like he got more than a concussion is what it sounds like.
He actually, a couple of Socias walk up on him at a Tasty Freeze and start kind of harassing him a little bit. And where in the movie, when 2-Bit had broke that bottle and handed it to him,
so I would never use it.
He's like, I'd never use it. Yeah. Ponyboy's the one who jumps down off the car, breaks the bottle, and starts going after the Socias.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, total personality change, his eating habits, he just dropping weight like crazy. And his English teacher, like, he'd be a decent math student, but now his grades were in the tank. He was big time into English, and his English grades had dropped way off. What they don't talk about in the movie is that he was actually a track star.
Oh yeah,
at
they
the
never
school.
said anything about that.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about grade A student. Derry made him work for everything. He was like, you do your homework, you do this. He was a track star, all of this. Hang on. And all of that changes after the head injury. And the English teacher, in an effort to try to help him get his grades up before the school year's over, goes, I need you to write this thing. And if you even do fairly well on it, I'll give you a C. You pass the class. And
so it's him writing the story of what happened.
Well, he doesn't know what to write. He can't even get. He ends up like drawing pictures. He was an art student. He just drawing, and he has this big conversation with Derry and with Soda about what happened, and kind of gets everything straightened out, and then he suddenly realizes what he wants to write. And the way the book ends, it's him going, when I walked out of the dark theater into the bright sunlight. It's him writing the whole story about what's happened over the last week. That's the reason the movie opens with that piece of paper in that line. It's why it ends with that line.
Okay. But it doesn't explain it whatsoever.
I like some stuff that Francis Ford Coppola does. I don't like other stuff. I think this movie could have been treated a lot better, but the fact that it has the cast in it that it does is absolutely amazing.
I'm going to say something very controversial for this podcast in general.
Okay.
About 3/4 of the way through this movie, I said to myself, I want to see a remake. Because I was like, I think they're, and I really believe, just from watching the movie, I think there is a core story there that could be done a whole lot better than what it was done.
I'm not going to disagree.
Yeah.
I would like,
because look,
I hate to see
the problem I've always had with.
I hate to see this movie redone because it's now in the classic movie category, and
just because of age. I mean, that's
it's because of age, because of the actors, because of who did it. But the book tells the story so much better than the movie did, and I think Francis Ford Coppola tried to make an art film with this, and he shouldn't have.
That's what I was going to get to. The biggest problem I've ever had with any Francis Ford Coppola movie, including The Godfather, is its style over substance. And think about it, okay? Both of those Godfather movies, it's the love affair with the mafia over what's actually happening, okay? And
you
this
realize
movie,
there were 3, right? Because you said both.
I have not seen the third one because everybody told me it was terrible, so I just didn't even bother with it. Plus the fact I didn't like the first two that much. So, but
I'm not going to fight you over
this movie.
We've already fought
this movie, same thing. Okay, Dracula, all style over substance. Here's something I'll tell you, and actually bringing that into it, of Dracula. I
always forget that that's a Francis Ford Coppola.
That's one of the last things he did. He hasn't done hardly anything since then. And that was 30 years ago.
Now he restores cars and makes wine.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
I've honestly said the best thing Francis Ford Coppola ever did was give us Sophia, because I love her movies. But
you're never going to change my mind on the
And I think the thing with this book, especially from what you told me, or this movie, what you told me there, like leaving big, the end of it off, but
they left a couple of great big chunks in the book out of the movie that should have been. Other
than that, just from what you told me about the book, they tried to like basically film the book, okay, except for the parts that were left out, okay,
because S.C. Hemp was on set.
Okay,
they tried to make a faithful rendition, but somehow in making a faithful rendition left huge chunks of the storyline out of the movie.
I have not read the book, The Godfather, because that was based on a book also. And what I have heard other people talking about, people, they, of course, God knows how many things written and said about The Godfather. He was pretty faithful to the book as well. Even putting some stuff in there that didn't make sense in the movie because it was in the book.
Yeah.
This was kind of like that, and Dracula was kind of like that. If you've ever read the book Dracula, this was not him remaking the Universal Monsters Dracula. This was him making Bram Stoker. That's why it's called Bram Stoker's Dracula, because it's the whole thing of him walking around during the daytime, and this and that, blah, blah. It's all the stuff that you don't think about at all about with anything prior to that Dracula related, which good for him trying to be faithful. I get that. This movie also, look, I didn't hate this movie. Okay, again, I think that in a different director's hands,
it would have been a better movie.
And wouldn't have, like I said, it's only an hour and a half long. Literally, it was an hour and 31 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. It felt like I sat there for 3 hours because it was a slog. Okay. Especially all the stuff when they were at the
church.
Do you know why the church burned?
No, but they don't even really address it in the book.
They did in the movie. Yeah. During the week that they spend there, okay, it shows them, they're playing cards and, and they're sitting around, they're smoking and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Ponyboy drops a line to Johnny because he drops a cigarette or something.
See, I didn't think they addressed it.
And he says, "Hey, watch that because you'll set this whole place on fire if you don't watch the cigarettes."
Well, in the book, when they get there and the church is on fire, one of them goes, "Oh, one of our cigarettes must have started the fire."
But they dropped that line. I caught that during that montage in the middle, which again, that montage was just like, "Oh my God, I'm going to get through this, please."
And here's the thing. There were conversations in the book that could have happened in that section that would have helped the storyline.
This movie also is... I have many times hinted at wanting to do an episode about what the 80s did, about taking good actors or musicians or whatever and just really, man, that Stevie Wonder song.
Well, it wasn't a Stevie Wonder song.
I don't care. Stevie Wonder performs it.
But here's the deal. What it is that was Francis Ford Coppola's brother or cousin or something.
Right,
he wrote the music for it, and I have no doubt that he wrote the music for it, and then they took it to Stevie Wonder and went, "Hey, could you write some lyrics for this?"
Let's put it this way.
"Hey, great. Could you perform this for the movie, please?"
There are certain things you're not supposed to say these days because it will get you canceled.
Uh-oh.
This is all I'm going to say about this song.
First off, Alan's views do not necessarily agree or are part of my own, so leave me out of this.
That song drinks Bud Light. So Oh, it was a terrible song.
Once again, Alan's views and ideas do not necessarily reflect my own, so please leave me out of it.
That was terrible. That song goes in that whole what the 80s did to good artists. I mean, that and I know, you saying that wasn't a song that Stevie wrote. Okay, I'll give him.
He wrote the lyrics.
I'll give him a little bit of a pat, but that was a terrible song.
If you actually look in the credits, if you look in the credits, he wrote the lyrics for it. But what's his? Oh, I'm going to look it up now because that's going to bother me.
But yeah, that I just and let's talk about the acting for a couple people here. Okay, Ralph Macchio got a lot better later.
Carmine Coppola was the one who wrote.
Oh, that's right. I did see that. I did see that Coppola was on there.
Yeah, Carmine Coppola wrote the music. Stevie Wonder wrote the lyrics, which I'm sure came way after the music was written.
Sure.
And then performed.
Yeah. Ralph Macchio got better later. He's not good in this. Diane Lane got much better later. Now, I remember a few years ago rewatching Six Pack, probably 15 years ago. Again, around the same time, she's young, around the same age, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Again, Diane Lane got a lot better when she got older. Not very good here. There are several. There are several quote unquote actors in this movie that are like, wow, you're just saying lines. You're not really acting. This is and of course, sometimes going back and watching movies from decades past, it's a choice. It's a style. It's the way they did things. It probably had something to do with directing or told to do it this way or whatever. But it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, oh my goodness, the acting. Some really bad acting in this.
That's one thing that I forgot to bring up when Ponyboy wakes up from having been half drowned in the theater. In the movie, Ralph Macchio's character is sitting there and he's like shaking and like freaking out.
Right.
And in the book, that is not the way that happened. Johnny has gone cold.
Okay.
He's gone from being the frightened little,
16-year-old.
16-year-old to, screw that guy. He was about to kill you and I killed him. And, that's just the way it is. And
It's still a lot for a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
A lot for a 50-year-old to have to put up with, to have to deal with. But for a 16-year-old especially, it's man,
But Ralph Macchio did not portray that right.
Right. No,
I mean, he was doing the whole freak out thing.
Which is funny to think that this was 83 and the next year was The Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Just it's daylight and dark.
Yeah,
and
it really is.
And also one of those things where you're like, wow, he was like, what, 26 whenever they made this movie or something.
And the thing is, he's the older of the two boys because Ponyboy's 14.
I know.
But in the movie, he's doing the whole shaking, freaking out. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, I'm in trouble. Blah, blah.
Right.
No, in the book, he was like, no, he was going to kill you. So I killed him first. Screw that guy.
And I'll say this too. I don't know. Have you seen Matt Dillon lately?
Not lately.
He's finally started to show his age, but I was watching that movie going like, okay, this movie came out in 83. Matt Dillon looked exactly like that for the next 25 years. Like he didn't age for the longest time. You look at him there and you look at him at like
Entourage.
No, it's Kevin Dillon.
Oh, you're right.
No, you look at him in There's Something About Mary, or You Mean Dupree, or one of those movies, Wild Things. One of those movies, late 90s, early 2000s. It's like, no, he did, other than the hair, nothing changed about him between the two. It was just
must have been hanging out with Dick Clark.
I don't know, but then, like, of course, he's almost 60 now. So actually. Yeah, he's almost 60 now because I was looking up how old, because I think he was like 20 when they made this movie or something like that. It's like even like Patrick Swayze was 20. No, I think he was actually 30 when they made this movie.
Yeah. Something
like that. Because I think he was born like 52 or something. Because I was looking up all their ages like at the time, when there was like, okay, how old they were when this movie came out, blah, blah, blah.
Well, Derry,
you also have to think that was also a year prior, so they were actually all a year younger than that.
Yeah, and Derry was supposed to have been 20, 21 at the time.
Yeah. But yeah, everybody was outside of Swayze of the main cast was like in their early 20s somewhere, and except for Macchio, who was in his mid 20s. So. Funny, he played one of the younger kids, and he was one of the oldest ones in the crew.
Yeah. And what was funny is that S.E. Hinton, she was hanging out with all of those guys. She became the de facto den mother for that whole group of guys. And she's like, and there's actually in in the book I was reading, she did a foreword talking about the book and the movie and all that, and she basically refers to them as her boys. They're all big, movie stars now.
Yeah,
but she's like they'll always be
it is.
our boys.
That is you look at, Swayze had been in a couple of things prior to that, like. He was in. I think he was on.
It was Red Dawn.
No, that was after.
Was that after?
After that was in '84.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
He had been in a few things. Okay,
Yeah.
but it was. This was probably the most high profile thing he had done to that point. I think actually, what the most high profile thing he did prior to that was the North and the South.
Oh, I forgot about.
Yeah, because he was in there. But yeah, it was just kind of one of those like, okay, Rob Lowe hadn't done anything yet. Tom Cruise had not done anything to this point. I mean, that was like, I think he had been in Taps at that point and just a couple of little small roles here and there. Macchio had been in a couple of like, B sex comedies, up the Academy and a couple of stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, and so it was one of those things. This really was a launching point. And, even Emilio Estevez hadn't done anything that really put him on the map to this point.
You know what his first one was? 1979. Skate Town, USA.
Who was that? Macchio?
No, Swayze.
Oh, Swayze. Okay. I know he was in a.
He did
TV movie with.
He was in MASH.
Yeah.
Yep. Episode 1 in 1981.
Well, what episode, right? He was the soldier that was dying.
He was Private Gary. Where was it?
He was. Look, you remember the episode where there's a clock going?
Yeah.
Because they're basically they have to get I think it was an aorta or something like that.
Yeah.
Into and they only had so much time, and there was another soldier there that was on the verge of death.
Yeah.
That that matched, it was a blood type match or whatever it was. That was Patrick Swayze. Remember, because it was him walking around just kind of like talking to other people, other soldiers who were dying as well, type stuff like their spirits were talking. That was Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he played Private Gary Sturgis.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Let's see here. He was also he was a dancer uncredited in Toto's music video for Rosanna.
Okay, well, there you go. He was in a television movie with Jeannie. What's her name?
Called The Renegades.
Is that what with Barbara Eden?
I think so.
Yeah, and because I know he was like the bad guy in it.
No, that was a TV series, six episodes.
Okay, did you ever see The Outsiders TV show?
No.
It was on Fox in 1990. I went and I looked at like the cast because I remember like the guy that played Ponyboy was, I can't remember his name. He was on Evening Shade.
I don't even
remember the Burt Reynolds.
Right.
Him and Mary Lou Henner.
Right. Yeah.
He played his son.
Okay.
That guy played Ponyboy. He's been in a few things. He's been here recently. He's been on the Connors. But yeah, he played Ponyboy. I saw that David Arquette was on that show. I was going through it was only like 13 episodes or something like it ran for like one season from like March to July of 1990.
It's only a 180-page book. How are you going to do a TV
and it was basically the book, like them doing it over, whatever. Yeah. And there were several other people that like, oh look, there's so and so. Oh look, so and so was in this, type stuff where it was like, okay, that's small roles before they were big, type things. I remember watching it because it came on Sunday nights on Fox. It was like, are they early, like at 6 o'clock or whatever? It was like one of the early, or maybe it was for Saturday night. I don't remember. But it was. I remember like watching it, and then it was just gone, and it never came back. That was kind of the tail end of all that. The first wave of baby boomer nostalgia that we had to endure. And so
this story is definitely a baby boomer story.
Very much so.
But it's very much a Gen X cast.
Yes. It's kind of like what we talked about with Stand By Me.
Yeah.
Very Gen X cast, but it's a baby boomer story, which is the reason why we wound up cutting it from our list of things to do for Retro Summer last year. Because we're like, No, that would be like us doing Forrest Gump, because it's just baby boomer porn is all it is. So it's just like
I didn't even mention The Big Chill.
Oh yeah, and there's that too. Yeah, don't get me started on that movie. Fuck Kevin Kline.
Move along. Move along.
But yeah, that I did not hate this movie. Okay. I will not go back and rewatch this. So I've seen it once, and that was I had told you I couldn't remember if I had actually seen the movie all the way through.
Sure.
I came to the conclusion I had never seen the movie from beginning to end, but I have seen all of this movie in bits and pieces over the last 40 years. Last night when I watched it was the first time I've sat down and watched it from beginning to end.
It's one of those movies that I go back to maybe a couple times a decade.
Yeah, I'm not going to go back to this.
And Rumblefish is kind of the same way. But honestly,
I guess Rumblefish is your
Reno
Williams or Remo Williams and whatever that Barry's always wanting to do. So.
No, not necessarily. The thing that drew me into Rumblefish the first time I saw it was on A&E.
Okay,
it was late night in high
school. I remember the movie. It's Mickey Rourke. I know it's
Matt Dillon's in that one also.
Okay,
it's also it's also set in the same timeline. It's also set in Tulsa. Mm-hmm. The cool thing about Rumblefish is that it's all in black and white.
Okay.
Except they deal with, you know what I'm talking about when I say beta fish or the fighting fish?
I got a beta fish right there. So Xander's got one. So
the only thing that's in color in the entire movie is when they're dealing with the fighting beta fish.
Okay.
And it's this whole black and white film, but all of a sudden you've got this big splash of color.
So it's somebody trying to be artsy.
It's an art film. I'm not even going to lie about it, but it's just kind of a cool, watch it once, just say you have.
And for those of you listening at home, art film is code for pretentious. So
not necessarily. Thank you very much. Jerk face.
which is code for you're right and I don't want to admit it.
No, that is not what I'm saying at all. I guess I'm just a little bit more cultured than you are.
Okay. No, I'm saying we need to go back to the Bud Light thing again. So
I don't know why I bother with you. Anyway, read the book. It's only about 180 pages long. It will fill you in on all the stuff that should have been in the movie. And go watch this movie at least once.
It's on HBO Max or Max or whatever.
It's on HBO Max.
It's only an hour and a half long. It is. I mean,
it's a movie you should have seen. They probably should have shown it to you in one of your classes in high school for like a literary thing or something. That's one of the places that I ended up seeing it. Was one of my literary teachers showed it to us in class when we were talking about the book.
My mom liked that movie. I remember her watching it.
Your mom has good taste.
Sometimes, yeah, she did. So
you've mentioned all the other movies that you went to go watch.
Mom, I know. It's a lot of the movies that she really loved though were just like, wow, we're not even talking B tier stuff. We're talking like C and D tier.
There's nothing wrong with those either.
I know, and if they're as long as they're fun, like I said, as long as it's fun. Like I said about that. What is the name of that movie? Something about the.
Hold on, I'm gonna
something
look it up.
crushing weight of immense talent or something like that.
Yeah,
it's not a good movie, but it's worth watching. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's got its moments where you're just like, oh wow, that is okay. But as a movie, it's just really not that good.
That title's gonna bother me.
Yeah, it's something about. Something increasing weight and talent and whatever.
The unbearable weight of massive talent.
There it is. So yeah, I knew it was something like that.
Yeah,
it's the Nick Cage movie. So
I so want to see this. I've got to figure out where it's streaming.
Yeah, look on Just Watch. It'll tell you.
So,
or actually, IMDb will tell you where it's streaming.
The easiest thing I've found is I pick up my Roku remote and I hit that microphone button. and I just say the name of the title, and it lists off all the places I can get it. I love my Roku.
So you like for the government to listen on you?
No, I've actually got it turned off to where it only listens when I'm. Yeah, they're listening.
Say that microphone's never off.
Yeah, they're listening. It's not like my.
It's kind of like earlier today. I was sitting listening to music and had my phone sitting there. I was like, I wonder if the FBI's are liking that I'm listening to this music today. It's just like.
It's not like my phone wasn't sitting another foot away from me.
I know
they're
exactly.
listening there.
So
the only time the FBI can't get to me is when I go hunting up in the Cherokee National Forest.
They know.
No, because I leave my car or I leave my phone in the car.
Doesn't matter. They know. Anyway, before we get into that, that's a
leave it alone.
That's a
move along.
Yeah, nothing to see here.
Move along. These are not the droids you were looking for.
We're walking and we're walking. So anyway, yeah. So we talked about The Outsiders, and
Alan was not happy about this.
It is what it is.
If you don't like it, you can blame my wife.
It's we've covered worse stuff on here, so that's just
let's not go back to the baseball episode.
I enjoyed that episode personally, but I've also seen a lot of baseball movies. So, and I know you've seen like 2, so or 3, I think it was. You said
maybe you had 2 or 3.
You had The Sandlot, Field of Dreams, and Major League.
Yeah,
and I think that was it.
Yeah,
and
that was my 3.
And Barry and I had like all the rest of them.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that episode. That was so much fun for me.
Well, apparently the listeners liked it about as much as you did as well.
See, so I am always right. Thank you, listeners, for backing me up on that one.
But apparently they liked that episode more than they liked our Fight Club episode twice. Wow. So and I even went back and spent 3 hours editing that fucking thing to get it to it was completely remixed. So
yeah, I did not appreciate one of those drops. Thanks a lot for that, jerk.
So anyways,
all right, I guess we're done.
Yeah, we're done. We'll be back soon with something else. I don't know. So I thanks for listening. Make sure and go check out all of our social media. Hey guys, something that we haven't done on here a lot,
here we go.
that we probably have been delinquent in doing a little bit is, go and, if you would, and whatever podcatcher you use, and rate us, give us a rating and subscribe. I watch the numbers come in on our analytics on a daily basis. And it's funny how I know for me, I listen to a lot of podcasts and I just subscribe to everything. So whenever a new one drops, it just goes right straight into my, the feed goes right straight into my,
I do the same.
App, that kind of stuff. And it seems like a good chunk of our listeners aren't subscribed, but they're
downloading.
They're downloading and listening to it or whatever, but they're not subscribed, which means it doesn't go up the first, which is not that big a deal. It's just kind of one of those I'm often amazed at how our episode we just did recently about televisions, VCRs, and cable television.
Sure,
is now in the top 5 of our all-time downloads.
Nice.
It's done really well, and in a very short amount of time. I can look at everything else that's in that, and most of them got there over many months. We're talking just a few weeks.
Yeah,
this one jumped up there. Apparently, you guys really enjoyed that one,
and we
enjoyed doing it.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's but it's been funny to watch that how we got this big right on the very front of it. And then it's just been very steady for the weeks after that of wow, this just keeps going and going and going.
And thank you so much.
And we're saying
that.
Thank you. But it's funny how I can watch I can watch those analytics on a normal, an episode that doesn't catch like that.
Yeah.
Where we'll have a moderate amount of listens on the first day, and then it's steady again, but it's a much lower rate of steady than what that gets to, where it's hey, we'll get to however many downloads we get to, but it usually takes a long time for us to get there. And it seems like we'll have these little spikes where it's the first day we'll have, a certain amount, and then 2 or 3 days later we'll have another kind of a lower spike, but kind of but bigger than what we had in between.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of one of those things. The only thing I've been able to come up with is I think it's just basically what I'm saying is if you subscribe, you don't have to go look for it. It's like, oh, let's go see if there's a new episode. It will just be there.
Okay, so I'm going to simplify this in a less rambling way.
I can't do anything in a less rambling way.
So,
and I haven't even hit my coffee level yet.
So do us a favor, guys. First off, wherever you're listening to us at, whether it's iTunes or Podcaster or
Apple seems to be our number one where people get us from.
Okay.
Overcast, which is what I use, is like in the top 3 or 4.
I'm using Podcast Guru. That's what I use for mine. Podverse is also out there.
Podverse is one of them that Google is one that we get a lot of.
Okay.
Like a lot.
So guys, we need you to go do us a favor. Make sure you're subscribed, not just downloading it. Subscriptions actually help our ratings and numbers and all that.
Ratings help us tremendously.
Ratings help us more than anything. So if you could go over and, give us some kind of a rating. If you're really super awesome, do us a little review too.
Yes,
reviews would be awesome. We'd love to be able to hear what you think about the show.
And again, you guys, I know, listen to a podcast enough to where people are constantly shilling for this stuff, and we usually don't. Probably to our own detriment, but we're kind of asking this. I was like, hey, in spite of us, could you help us out?
Let me rephrase that. In spite of Alan, could you help us out?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't try to bother you with this because nobody likes bothering you with this, but it really would help us out. And we thank you so much in advance for doing that for us.
You saying that reminded me because for whatever reason, man, I'm going to close out on this story. For whatever
before
reason.
You do,
okay.
Don't forget our socials.
Yes.
Instagram. Facebook, we're not really doing anything over there. Forget Facebook. I'm probably going to delete the page.
Is anybody even on Facebook anymore?
Not really. But
I'm not at
Instagram,
all. So.
Come join us over on
Discord. Discord's the best place to join us. It's the best place to come. We got a great community. I know a lot of you that are listening right now are over there. Oh, and we just got a couple of new subscriptions over in that recently.
Yeah, welcome to the page.
Absolutely, and believe me, there's a lot of madness. It's been a little quiet here lately because, life.
We've all kind of been like, happened. And we apologize for not being there.
Yeah, don't worry. It will. There will be an uptick as the summer rolls in. So
yeah, and Miss O just posted a bunch of new stuff over there.
I love posts that she puts.
Her
on there.
Stuff is
her Halloween
good.
stuff, especially. Is
How
so
did she
good.
find this stuff?
I don't know. That's
some of it has turned. I have downloaded some of it and turned it into my computer desktop.
I know.
Backgrounds.
Every time that I see that she puts a dump of stuff over there, I'm like, okay, I got to go and look at every single one of these.
Yes,
so it's
yes, absolutely. And it's not leaving out the rest of the guys.
Oh, no,
thanks everybody for being there.
If we started naming them, it would
take too long.
But yeah,
just know that we thank you for being there. We appreciate you guys.
My little anecdote I was going to leave out, leave in on this one. Right. For whatever reason, okay, so back during the lockdowns, okay, one of the Facebook communities I was in at the time was doing some kind of stupid contest, that they did every year where it was like, Mr. or Ms., whatever it was, and I was always like, okay, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So that year I was like, screw it, I'm getting in on this, and of course they were always having all the little hey, post stuff here and that kind of stuff. So I started to write a song because without getting too deep into it, that that group was really far one way politically. Okay. And I'm not.
You're very much
in the middle.
In the middle and an equal opportunity
But
offender.
Again, one of those being in the middle, the people that are on one side think that I belong to the other side, and the people on that side believe I belong to the other side, and I don't care about either of them.
You're an equal opportunity offender.
I will equally go after everybody. So I started writing this song, and I never finished it, but for whatever reason...
You finished it?
I haven't finished it, but it's been running through my head, and I'm like, I think I need to finish this song because it was kind of going to be a comedy thing, and I was using a phrase that I don't think gets used as much now. It was kind of trendy at the time, and it's one of them that I don't really I hate. But the phrase "thirst trap."
I do.
Okay, I hate that, but. There were a lot of much younger people in this than me, a lot of millennials and stuff. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll use your vernacular. So I started writing this song.
did you get yeeted out of the group?
Called Problematic Thirst Trap. And that's the whole thing of it was like, I'm your favorite fantasy, your problematic thirst trap, the one that you don't tell your friends about.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, and for whatever reason, I wrote like a verse of it, and then like a chorus, which that was the end of the course, and all this kind of stuff. But it was like, okay, this could be really funny, and I could write 2 versions of it. One for one side of the aisle and one for the other, of like.
Okay.
So maybe if I get the gumption to do it, I might put pen to paper and finish up both sides of it, and maybe post the final product.
Maybe you should do it as a duet.
Could be. Yeah, actually, you know what? That would be great. Because, see, I could play the conservative thirst trap, and that the women are like, oh, I hate that I like this guy so much because of his political views. And then I could get a woman to play the one for the conservatives who are like, oh God, I hate to hear her talk.
Liberals.
Or but she would be the liberal, where it's a where the conservatives are like, oh, I hate that she all this blah blah blah, but damn, she looks good. So it's.
And welcome to this little moment of how Alan's mind works.
You do not want to know how my mind works. This is no. I have to live here. No one else should be forced to do that. So,
but yet here we are. Yeah, write it
face to face. Write it as silver spoon.
Write it as a duet, so they can sing it to each other.
There you go. So, anyways, on that note, I am Alan Smith.
I'm the other guy, Big Dave.
And we will see you again soon.
See ya.
If it's just life, that's all it is.
See her graduate.
I know.
That's not possible.
Well, she turned 18 a couple months ago. That was...
No.
Yeah, I know.
No, don't do that to me.
I know. She was 5 years old when I met her mom, and that was... And now the fact that she's 18, I'm like, no, that's not right.
She's still this tall in my mind.
No, she's not. She's taller than I am now. So
everybody is taller than you.
Look, that's still tall for a woman to be taller than me. I mean, I'm 5'8". I mean, that's like,
5'5".
I'm 5'8". And let's put it this way. If
your skin was blue, you'd be a Smurf.
Whatever. It's funny with that, a complete side note here. Globally, I'm actually a little above average. In the U.S., I'm slightly below average.
So many comments I could make.
I mean, it's just
about being slightly above average.
It is. It's like, I think for the world, for a man, it's like 5'7.5" or something like that. And
are you calling me a giant? Is that what you're doing?
Well, you're what, 6'2"? Is that right?
6'2".
Yeah, you do realize that
6'2", 330 pounds.
If you are above 6 foot tall, actually, if you're above 5'11", that you are in every inch that gets put on that, you get into an even smaller percentage of the population. Like, I mean, we're talking like single digit. And so once you hit 6'2", we're talking like 6% of the male populace.
As a kid, I used to try to hang from the monkey bars to stretch myself out.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be 6'6" or better, so I could play basketball at Kentucky.
It's kind of one of those things for me. Kind of the same thing with my hairline. You
don't have a hairline.
I know, that's what I'm saying. One day I was a teenager and had a full head of hair, and I was at a family reunion and got to looking around at all the men in my family. I'm like, well, yeah, exactly. It's like, I see my future here. And then, the thing is that my immediate family, my dad's shorter than I am. My mom, of course, was shorter than him. And then like my grandfather on my mom's side was only like 5'3". Now, the thing about it is that everybody else in our family is like 6 foot and above.
Oh, so your family was the recessive gene.
Dude, I swear it's been one of those things where it's like, I've often said that. It's like you line up all of us cousins for the most part, especially the ones in my generation, and it's like looking at a skyline, you see all these like big skyscrapers, and all of a sudden there's this dip down, and it's back up into the rest of them again. It's just like, how did I get so lucky to get all of this crap? All
right. Well, I'm going to bring us over into what we're actually talking about today.
Yeah. Anyway,
we're